But pretty much Chicago beats Miami. They come down here. Orlando loses to Atlanta. And they go up here. So I'm going to say that Chicago wins. They play the Cavs in the first round. And I'm going to say that Atlanta plays the Celtics. So to start off again, we'll restart here. I think the Cavs are going to win in 5 games. I think the Cavs are going to play Chicago and beat them in 5 games because, again, the Cavs just have so much shooting and they've just been the best team in the East all year and they're that good. So I'm saying the Cavs win that in 5 games. And yeah, that's my bet on that. Anyway, back to the series we were on. So Indiana playing Milwaukee. Indiana, like I said, has been the better team, I guess, this season. It depends on the health status of Damian Lillard. But, you know, usually when push comes to shove in the playoffs, the best player usually can prevail. Now, maybe the Bucks are just too banged up and who knows about Portis and right. Kuzma hasn't really done that much to shift the landscape. Lopez kind of looks like he's on the way out. Indiana is the better overall team. They have the experience from last year. They're scrappy, you know, guys like TJ McConnell, you know, and just others off their bench like Nembhard who can just kind of make an impact when you need it. Something just tells me that Giannis is going to take over. I don't know why. I have a feeling that Giannis is going to take over and have like a crazy series. I don't know who can stop Giannis on the Indiana Pacers. It's not going to be Halliburton. It's not going to be Siakam. It's not going to be Turner. So I think the Bucks are going to win. I think it's going to go 7. I'm going to say Bucks win it in 7. So we have the Cavs in 5, the Bucks in 7. Then brings me to the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. I'll tell you straight up, I'm going Pistons in 7. Pistons are young. They are hungry. Obviously, Tobias Harris looking for the revenge series. But in all seriousness, they went from a 14-win team to a team that is above 40 wins. Cade Cunningham is playing like one of the best players in the world. They have shooting. They have toughness, maybe a little bit too much at times, guys that are not afraid to throw a punch. But I don't know. Can you say they're trying to channel that inner Detroit basketball from the 80s and 90s? I mean, they look like they won it. I think they beat the Knicks a little while ago. Knicks haven't beat any good teams this year. They're like 0-9 against the top 3 teams. And the Knicks, in my opinion, are one of the biggest playoff fraudulent teams out there right now. I think they'll put up a good fight. I just, for some reason, even though the Knicks are the better team, feel like the Pistons are playing better basketball right now. And I think the Pistons are winning in 7. And I think they're going to upset them on the road. So I'm going Pistons in 7. And lastly, we have the Boston Celtics who will play the Atlanta Hawks. They'll play the winner of the 7-8. I think the Hawks are going to beat the Orlando Magic. And I think the Celtics are going to sweep the Atlanta Hawks because as much as it pains me to say, the Celtics now have the weight off their shoulder. They know what it takes. This is going to be warm-ups for them. This is going to be just straight up go out there, you know, knock down 45 threes and just go crazy and shoot them out of the gym. So I think Boston is going to win in 4, and they are going to sweep the Atlanta Hawks. So that means the Celtics, the Pistons, the Bucks, and the Cavs will advance in my first round. In the East. All right, let's go over to the Western Conference. This one's going to get interesting. So let me know what you guys think. It's going to get quite spicy here in the first round. I mean, we just saw the end of the season. The Clippers beat the Warriors in overtime, and that means the Clippers are going to play Denver in the first round, who just fired their coach, which was crazy enough, and Golden State falls down to the play-in. So the first play-in is Sacramento versus Dallas, 9 versus 10. Not a big buyer on either team. I don't think either one is capable of winning more than a play-in, but by default, somebody has to win. So I'm going to say Sacramento wins because Dallas, even though AD is there, I feel like Dallas is cursed and it's just not their year. They need to just reset and figure it out. So I'm going to say Sacramento wins. Generational play-in game by Domantas Sabonis. They've been talking about Valanciunas, who's apparently been in every play-in game, which is nuts. I'm going to say that Sacramento wins. And down here for the 7 versus 8, we have Golden State taking on Ja and the Grenades. Yeah, Golden State's winning this game. I know Jimmy Butler got banged up a little bit at the end of that game. As long as he's good to go, I just believe in the veteran presence of Steph and Draymond and Jimmy, and they cash in, they get Jimmy, to form that big 3 to try to make a final push here for the end of Steph and Draymond, and I think they win that game pretty handily. So I'm going to say Golden State advances to take on the Rockets, and Memphis loses that game and will take on the Sacramento Kings. And I think that Memphis, even though they fired their coach with 9 games to go, finds a way to pull it out. They have more toughness, more length, more shooting. And I just don't think Sacramento has enough, especially after the De'Aaron Fox trade. Now, maybe DeRozan and Levine go on a heater. Maybe Levine goes crazy. I mean, he's been playing pretty well. So maybe Sacramento can win that game. I have a feeling that Memphis is going to pull it out. They're going to play physical. And I just don't think Sacramento has enough defense. So I'm going to say Memphis wins that. And Memphis travels to Oklahoma City to play the Thunder. Wow, how do we think this one's going to go? Really tough series, huh? OKC and Memphis. Yeah, nah. I think OKC wins it in 5 games. They go up 3-0. They go with a little gentleman's sweep. And I think OKC breezes their way into the second round. And the young guys keep it flying, man. So I'm going to say OKC wins. They've been the best team in the NBA. Best point differential, I think, ever. Bunch of 24, 25, 26-year-olds just running and gunning. They're deep, and they just look so much better than everybody. So I'm going to say Thunder win it in 5. That'll take us to the Denver and Clippers series. Now, again, Denver just fired their coach. They actually look pretty good in the first couple games since firing their coach. Obviously, waiting to see how Jamal Murray comes back and fits into the equation. But as long as he's fine and he's healthy against the LA Clippers, obviously I said a little while ago, if Kawhi Leonard has the Kawhi Leonard historic playoff run, I think the Clippers can go deep. But outside of that, I just don't think they are a contender. I think the Clippers are a pretender. I think everybody's hyping them up. And the fact of the matter is they don't have enough shooting. They don't have the guys who are willing to step up in the bright lights outside of Kawhi Leonard. I've seen a lot of mistakes in crunch time moments from Ty Lue. And as good as James Harden is playing right now in the regular season, he just folds when the lights get bright. So I'm going to say the Nuggets actually surprise everybody, and they win it in 7 games. I'm going Nuggets in 7. I know they're the favorite technically because of their seeding, but I think the Nuggets, especially with how Jokic is playing, will not be stopped because right now Jokic is on a different plane, and he is playing some of the best ball I've ever seen. I got to admit it. Nuggets in 7. Lakers versus Minnesota. That one could get a little interesting because Minnesota has been very inconsistent this year. Sometimes, some stretches this season, they look like a really elite team, the team that got to the conference finals last year. But at other times, they just have gaping holes in their team. They don't play defense. I still think Rudy Gobert is the most overrated player in the NBA. And I don't think they ever should have traded Karl Anthony Towns. So when I look at that series, Luka's going to rise to the occasion. LeBron will be ready to go. Reeves has been playing out of his mind. I don't see the Lakers as a finals contender, but I do think they're more consistent than the Minnesota Timberwolves. I feel like the Timberwolves are missing something. I think they can pull out a couple games because of the heroics of Ant, but I just feel overall that the Lakers are going to get it done in 6. So I'm going Lakers in 6 to beat Minnesota. I could see that as a sneaky upset pick, but everything would have to go right. And I just think that in the playoffs, Gobert is a liability. And I just don't see them thriving with Gobert, man in the middle. And then lastly, we have the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. So Rockets, young, fun, enticing, right? The year of the young squads. Houston's been playing some really good ball. A lot of guys who are great at the point of attack. They can get out in transition, get easy buckets, definitely have that toughness factor to them with Dylan Brooks. And, you know, Amin Thompson's been fantastic this year. And, you know, they have a lot of talented players. Ime Udoka's done a great job. However, I just feel like Golden State has the experience. They have the battle-tested veterans. Jimmy's going to rise in the playoffs. And Steph is Steph. So I'm going to take Golden State to upset Houston. As crazy as it may sound, I feel like Golden State is better than what their record shows. I feel like the first half of the season got them where they are now before they had Jimmy Butler. Their record before and after is drastically different. They now have a playoff winner. No, Jimmy has not won it all, but he rises to the occasion. There literally is a thing as playoff Jimmy. And I just think with the way Curry's playing at 37 years old, which is just insane, Houston's going to bring it. I just don't think they're ready yet. I think they're a year out from really being that finals contender.